Oh my God, he's not human. He's a god. Don't strike me. I'll get on my knees and apologize to Mr. Wade. Help me, I was wrong. Several people dropped to their knees, bowing and scraping before Charlie. Christian was so scared he scrambled under a table, his heart filled with awe. But the bolts of lightning seemed to have eyes, only blasting the mosquitoes to dust and not harming a single person. Owen's expression was one of pure shock and terror. He never imagined that Charlie's power could be so terrifying. Compared to him, Owen was just an ant. If that rolling thunder hit him, there wouldn't be anything left of him. He panicked, got to his feet, and scrambled to escape the courtyard. All he wanted to do was escape. He had to get out of Orus Hill and never come back. He no longer cared about being the most respected master in Orus Hill. Trying to escape? Charlie smiled coldly, then pointed a finger. Here, again. A bolt of lightning slammed down, throwing Owen straight to the ground and shattering the pottery jar in his hand. His hands throbbed with pain. He was terrified, shaking and screaming. "Wade! Mr. Wade, spare my life!" Charlie's expression was cold as he walked toward him, one step at a time. Using an evil, corrupt act that harms the world. You're a crooked devil who deserves to be punished by the heavens. Today I'm the one punishing you with thunder. Do you accept your fate? Owen's mouth hung open, but he couldn't say a word. He watched the thunder and lightning flash within the dark clouds, crying with a mixture of grief and outrage. It seemed this was the end for him. Why? Why was there someone so terrifying in Orus Hill? Why did I have to be so foolish and cross him? Before Owen could even process what was happening, several bolts of lightning struck at once, smashing down on him. Owen, who had been so aggressive and arrogant just moments before, was slammed to the ground before he could even let out a scream. His human form was gone, replaced by what looked like a piece of burnt wood. A disgusting, charred smell filled the courtyard. Rain, cease. Wind, rise. Charlie waved his hand. Miraculously, the heavy rain stopped. A gust of wind kicked up from the ground, sending sand and pebbles flying, sweeping away the smell of burnt corpses from the courtyard. In the middle of the wind, Charlie's face was calm, as if nothing had happened. But everyone else in the courtyard just stood there, their mouths hanging open in shock. Stephen was trembling all over and didn't dare to speak. He knew if Charlie had struck him with lightning earlier, he would have been dead long ago. It was only then that he understood Charlie had never even considered him a real threat, and that's why he was still alive. "Mr. Wade, you're a god!" Christian's voice trembled as he dropped to his knees with a thud, facing Charlie with his hands pressed together. Solomon was so scared that he also fell to his knees, shuffling forward in front of Charlie and groveling on the ground. "Mr. Wade, please spare my life. I was a fool. I shouldn't have followed Owen. He was just a fraud. Please, Mr. Wade, spare my worthless life. I'm willing to do anything for you." Charlie glanced at him without any emotion and walked right past Solomon White. Terry spoke respectfully. "I believe that from now on the master of Orus Hill will be Mr. Wade. For the future of metaphysics, we await your orders, Mr. Wade. I will follow them." He was addressing the entire metaphysics community of the place. Just moments ago they were all fighting for their lives, but now no one had any objections. They were all completely convinced and shouted together, "Mr. Wade, please lead us here in Orus Hill." Just moments ago they were all fighting to the death, but now they were all eager for Charlie to take charge of the entire Orus Hill city, even the whole district's metaphysics community. No one had any objections to Charlie. They had never seen a god like Charlie, who could summon heavenly thunder with just a word. This was the realm of metaphysics, a supernatural power they didn't dare to even imagine. Looking at Owen's body, scorched by lightning on the ground, they all knew that Charlie's strength was beyond comprehension. Letting a person like that lead them wasn't just something they accepted. They hoped to get Charlie's guidance. Charlie frowned slightly and said to everyone, "I'm not a part of the metaphysics community. I'm not interested in metaphysics. From now on, let Terry Castillo act as your representative." As soon as he finished speaking, the people present just stared, their mouths open in shock. The divine lightning had already blown their minds, and now Mr. Wade was saying he wasn't interested in metaphysics? That he wasn't even part of their world? Was this just a passing hobby for him, summoning a few bolts of heavenly thunder for fun? Unbelievable! Absolutely next level! The crowd was silent, everyone looking around at each other. Terry glanced at Charlie hesitantly and said respectfully, "It's an honor to handle this for you, Mr. Wade. From now on, I'll ask all of you, my friends, to handle your own affairs. I will take care of the smaller matters myself, and then I will come to Mr. Wade for advice on bigger issues." The tense atmosphere relaxed a lot. Lucas immediately walked over and said in a respectful voice, "I thank you for what you did, Mr. Wade. I'd like to offer you a check for $80 million to show my admiration." Wyatt also stepped forward, looking ashamed, and said, "Thank you, Mr. Wade, for getting rid of that menace. From now on, I, Wyatt Gilmore, will follow any order from the supreme leader of Orus Hill. We're ready to listen." When the crowd saw the two men stepping forward to suck up, they didn't want to be left behind and quickly started flattering Charlie as well. Terry said, "For today's banquet, the White family sponsored $150 million. It was originally a prize for each winner. Now that Mr. Wade is the champion, this prize will naturally go to him." Solomon was still kneeling on the ground, not daring to get up. His forehead was bruised from bowing. He hurriedly said, "Mr. Wade, I was a fool. Please forgive me." Charlie frowned and said coldly, "Solomon, didn't you believe in Owen before?" Solomon hurriedly bowed his head again. "Mr. Wade, I was completely fooled by that Owen. I see now that he's nothing compared to you. From now on, I'll be loyal to you and only you, Mr. Wade, for the rest of my life." Then he added, "Mr. Wade, to show you how truly sorry I am, I'd like to give you a villa. I'll have someone get it cleaned up, and then I'll give you the key. I'm begging you to forgive me." A villa? Charlie frowned slightly. For someone with his resources, a villa was nothing. But buying one himself would be a problem. After all, he couldn't explain to his wife where the money came from. But if someone wanted to give him one, why say no? After all, he and his family were still living in that small old house, and they really needed to move to a better place. As for Solomon, he was pretty despicable, but he seemed genuinely sorry and didn't deserve to die for his mistake. So Charlie nodded and said, "All right, if you're serious, then fine. But if you ever cross me again, I won't be this forgiving." Solomon was overjoyed and quickly knelt down again. "Thank you, Mr. Wade, for your mercy. I'll seriously reflect on this, and I promise it will never happen again." "All right." Charlie then turned to Christian, who looked utterly horrified. He asked coolly, "Christian, does your family think I cheated you out of your money?" Christian's legs suddenly gave out, and he collapsed to his knees with a thud. He said in terror, "Of course not. I was just confused for a moment and had some doubts about you, Mr. Wade. Now I am completely convinced that you are a true master of metaphysics. Please forgive me." After he finished speaking, he grabbed a terrified Stephen and yelled angrily, "You idiot! Kneel down!" Stephen was already shaking with fear. When Christian yelled, he instantly dropped to his knees and stammered, "I was wrong, Mr. Wade. Please forgive me. I really didn't mean to doubt you." Christian slapped him hard across the face, then hit him again with a backhand, slapping him a dozen times in a row until Stephen's cheek swelled up. Stephen didn't dare to move. He just knelt on the ground and cried. At that moment, the beating was nothing. He was most afraid that Charlie would call down divine lightning, just like he did to Owen, and strike him dead. Skylar's pretty face turned pale with fright. She never dreamed that Charlie would turn out to be a master with such incredible magical powers. Originally, she had been a little angry with Charlie and felt she had to find a chance to get back at the guy. But now it seemed the man was so powerful that she could only feel awe. She was afraid that Charlie would be angry with her younger brother Stephen, so she also knelt and begged. "Mr. Wade, my brother is still young and doesn't know any better. Please forgive him this time." Seeing the three members of the Knox family kneeling in front of him, Charlie said calmly, "It's good that you're willing to admit your mistakes, so I'll let this go for now. But if anything like this happens in the future, don't blame me for being cruel." As soon as the Knox family heard these words, they hurriedly bowed their heads and thanked him as if they had just been granted a pardon. Warnia stood on the edge of the crowd watching this scene unfold, her feelings a mixture of excitement and confusion. Before today, she had always thought that Charlie was just someone who knew a little about antiques, but that his background was ordinary and he wasn't anyone important. She couldn't believe it. He had been hiding his strength all along. Today's events left Warnia completely speechless. She had never seen anything like it in her entire life. Just then, Charlie took a step up, looked down at everyone present, and said coldly, "Listen to me." The moment he spoke, everyone immediately looked up at Charlie with complete respect, not daring to make a sound. Charlie scanned the crowd and sternly shouted, "Once you walk out this door, no one is to mention a single thing about what happened today to the outside world. Otherwise, I will make sure you suffer the same fate as Owen." Everyone's expression was stunned. It seemed Mr. Wade didn't want his identity and power to become public knowledge. He really was a low-key master. Unlike the famous Owen, who would show off his shoddy jury-rigging skills everywhere. Compared with Mr. Wade, he was completely worthless. It was pathetic. As a result, everyone clasped their hands and bowed. "We will follow Mr. Wade's instructions." Charlie nodded, satisfied, and said, "In that case, let's leave now."